Right, this video is me making the fire pit and setting up my final scene for the Stone Age part of the video. So I loaded up the hut scene with all the other assets imported which I made, the rock which I made back in like week 3, which is seen on my blog, and also the other rock as well, and the log, the twig and stuff. I just put a ground plane in, a normal plane, and just put in a ground texture to the floor. This will be changed before the final render. I'll just put it there for reference, as it obviously is very 2D and very flat and very boring. And also, which I discovered, it's shiny, which I will be changing the settings over soon after I've set up the rock pit and stuff. So just using my reference images, getting some rocks over there, putting the twigs in the center. Did this by changing the pivot point to the center, shift duplicating one stick, and then control duplicating, shift duplicating. But at first for the sticks, the pivot point was being really annoying. Like, it just kept, even though I edit to make it 90 degrees up, it would just go back to rate 80 to get a weird angle. So when I shift duplicated, the sticks ended up going up. So I had to fiddle around with it, delete some of the sticks, change some other settings, try and freeze the pivot point and stuff. I got there eventually. It just took a lot of fiddling, but I was quite happy I've managed to solve it myself. I just messing around with it. So there we go. Like, I've done the sticks, mesh combine, set alterations, put center pivot, and then I've watched to make the fire. I watched one tutorial. It's turned a sphere into a fire, but it's here's the video, but it's of an old Maya, so it didn't quite work. It didn't quite work for me. And stuff. I wasn't sure what was going on, and so then I watched another video of how to create fire and stuff, which will be shown in a minute. So I was trying to make it just change the sphere, try to do it the old way, but it wasn't quite working too well. So yeah, so here messing around with the actual just smoke and stuff. I wasn't sure what was going on. I was a bit confused. So I was like, right, okay, how do I do it in a more modern version of Maya and a bit of a longer tutorial? So this is a nice 2-part tutorial, which is very easy to understand, step by step. But after following his instructions and stuff, I kept getting this error message on my screen. It's probably, I'm imagining it's on my part as pressing the wrong button, editing and stuff. So it just meant I couldn't make the box taller. As you see in one part of the video, so the fire doesn't just stop. So yeah, that was frustrating, but I didn't want to go back, delete everything, restart again, because I've already spent a good hour on this, near enough already. So I was just going through the tutorial, just following step by step, setting up the flame, and you'll see the end product in a bit. As you can see, obviously I don't have the straws enabled, the hairs system enabled on my hut again for now, because it would just slow down the scene and editing, so it's just easier just to hide it all and then bring it in near the end when it comes to rendering. Yeah, here's the thing. I was trying to change the 4, just wasn't happening. Maya wasn't happy. It was a bit frustrating. I just didn't want to go all the way back, so I just thought I'd deal with it. Again, got the box myself and just doing that. But so yeah, so just following the tutorial, editing the flame over, changing the colour around just to get a fire. It's not the most convincing looking fire you see at the end. Again, for need for improvement is to edit around with that before it comes to the final render. But I've got time to do that. So when I get feedback and stuff, posting stuff on Facebook and stuff, I'll be able to edit some of the things. So yes, I'm just following the second part, editing some of the settings around just to get the fire going and stuff. This is, to be fair, yeah, something weird happened. You'll see later. I'm just thinking ahead. This fire looks realistic, but then something happens when I edit the box and it turns into a more circular thing. So yeah, that looks fine. I'm quite happy with that. I've probably just got to change around some of the settings again, which you'll see later on in this video. So I'm just editing the settings and everything. So yeah, it's still a bit round. Oh, here we go. I did something then. I can't remember what. It just turned it into circular. T-circular, not really realistic. And obviously as the flames are ending in the box, it's kind of gets away from the point. Another thing in here is when I realised the floor was very shiny, and I was like, I need to change that setting. And now I'm just messing around making things darker, just trying to see what the glow's like, and and stuff. I have set up some machine, putting a log there. And some of the things I did notice well, and here we go, look, I'm changing the blend down and stuff, so it's just not shiny. That's because I put the wrong texture on. So here I've added the straws back in, and now with the hair system, the straws, and the fire, it really just slowed down my computer time. And here the straws kind of messed up. Don't know what was going on. It's because I moved the hut down itself without moving the hair system over. So I played around with that, and I ended up deleting it in a bit and just redo it again because it's just easier. But yeah, some of the other things I need to change on the fires is to make the glow more intensive, so it lights up more of the scene. So as the scene's going to be at night time, I want the fire to be really strong and look really natural and stuff, so it lights up the scene more effectively so you can see everything else. But here I was just adding a new hair system in. I was just messing around with the hair system, trying to get it sorted, but I was in the wrong kind of settings. I needed to be I need to be in straw settings rather than hair settings, and here we go, but obviously editing it slows everything down, mess around with the settings and stuff, so I think I ended up deleting this hair system because it started messing up. I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing, so I just found it easy just to redo it all again, start and reset really. Yeah, here I was messing around with the Arnold Sky Dome and stuff, and here's like the fire. Very rounded because obviously we've got freeze on a frame, everything like that. I was just trying to go with the actual light physical sky thing in Arnold, but there was like the black thing, so I'd add more planes in, but then the black's still there, so that was a bit annoying, probably because I had to move it down more. I've just realised that in my head right now, probably if I moved the dome down you wouldn't see the black at the back of the thing, because it accesses the horizon, so I have to bring the horizon down. See, it's a good thing it's a good thing doing this video, so it makes me learn a bit more. So yeah, so just messing around here. I've inserted the tools into from what I made earlier, so they're coming into the scene now. Obviously scaling all right. So there's the knife and stuff. Obviously the spear, prop it against the hut, so it's like one of the hunters has just came back. So that was a quick test rendered. What it looks like with all the light stuff, so you can see everything. But obviously my scene's not going to look like that, it's going to be dark. Again, I encountered some problems which you can see, like the knife you can't really see, the spear you can't see much. So it's kind of like a bit of a waste of time modelling them if they don't show up in the scene, so I will have to edit them round so then they can be shown. But it's in the actual final scene when I'm doing the camera movements, I will be doing close-ups of the tools and stuff, so they will be seen. So it's not going to be a complete waste, but it's just editing it all so they show up more. And here I realised the scaling was all wrong. The hut was too small compared to the log. Like the log is as tall as the hut if you set it up. So I thought, okay, let's just try and scale it all in, scale the hut and all the hair systems out. And then I realised that's really a bad idea. The computer was not happy. So after mine there and of pretty much crashing, I had to shut it down in a minute. As you see, so here we go. I'm trying to select everything. And I thought, okay, mesh combined, and it's now trying to combine over 1,000 objects. Into one, and there was a good thing I incremented and saved. Yeah, because the computer mine was having none of it, so I sat here for a good 5 odd minutes and seeing it for work, and it just wouldn't. So should have Maya loaded up. There we go. Look, Task Manager, load up Maya again. At first I opened the scene, and then I realised, oh, when it loads, I was like, oh, this is not how I left it. I was like, oh no, did I not save it? Then I realised because I incremented and saved it went down. So everything's back up here again. I decided I'm just going to make everything smaller. Rather than making the hut bigger, just going to make everything else really small. Just so the scaling is all better. There's a lot better scaling and stuff here. And then measure, so just got to rearrange the scene and stuff. It looks a lot more realistic. As you won't be carrying around a log which is the size of your house. Neither would you have a spear that is near enough the size of your house as well. So this all looks a bit better. Maybe make the spear a bit bigger again, because spears are quite long, and maybe with the club as well, but don't want to go too ridiculous. Because reference image, the house isn't huge, but I think I've got a better scaling here than what it was originally. So this is my third attempt at the roof now, to try and get it right. As it's very difficult, because if I just left it like that, the computer would run fine, I can render it, but then it just doesn't cover the whole cone. So I'll have to have more. Here we go, deleted and put it more less than what I had before, but I moved up. It's like, I think it was 60 or 70, I can't see with the Windows screen, but it was as much as I had originally, but it's still a lot of objects. It's still creating near enough 1,000 meshes, but it's needed so I can get a realistic factory roof effect on the building. So yeah, so going through what I'd load up the video tutorial again, just following through step by step, grouping everything together, make sure I've got backups, add saving as I go along. Excuse me. So yeah, so just messing around with the straws and getting the roof all sorted. Trying to get it all to stick together, follow the path and everything else, because obviously you just don't want it too thick, but you need a lot of it, like in the reference images. It's all thin straw because it's a thatched roof, but there's a lot of it, and this is just like I found the quickest way to create, rather than creating individual polygons or paint texture. Using the hair system, it's just easier, even though it uses more GPU power and slows the system down. It's just easier, and what I can do is just when I'm decoding cameras, I could just hide all the hair systems and the fire and stuff, get the camera movements done, and then bring them back in and get it set up that way. So I've got all the keyframes in and everything I need to do, but then I can just run it through, render it out, rather than trying to mess around with it still being live rendered. So here we go, like my roof's like, yeah, that's good, but it's still not covering everything. Like you will definitely be able to see the cone. So I was just trying to get it to the right settings. Here, the thickness was the rug setting. So I'm just messing around to try and get covered here. Obviously it started going inside the ceiling, which like, I don't want that to happen, even though you won't see it, but it's just wasted mesh. So I was playing around with some of the things again, made it way too thin. I managed to get the thickness how I liked it eventually. And then I went up to the right, what I hadn't realised was that my computer stopped recording, but I thought I've clicked record again, it's just not saved. So basically I was just messing around with the factory roof, get it all right, editing some of the settings around, and this is the final outcome really of the image you see on screen now. It still needs a lot of tweaking. I need to change the rocks down to make them not shiny so they actually look like rocks. Need to add some bump map detail to the floor plane so it properly looks like a floor, not just a flat 2D surface. If I need to rearrange the scene round, mess around with a bit lighting, use a bit more because I've only used like the world dome kind of lighting with that. So yeah, so that will all be done before the final recording render of this part of the scene. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.